Hey everybody, it's David from David in Progress, where we talk about financial independence and retiring early from the perspective of someone who is actually doing it. Now, I have a question for you. What is your most exciting plan for things that you're going to do once you retire? When I talk to people who are planning retirement, the most common thing that people are excited to do once they reach that point is to travel. Is that you? Are you someone that is looking forward to being able to travel during the off season or just go to exciting places that you were unable to go to while working? Well, that's one of the things that I want to talk about with you today. I want to talk about how we are budgeting for our travel, what we're doing to maximize our travel once we get back, and some bumps I've already experienced along the way. I'll never forget this one person that I was helping transition out of the company into retirement. I was in HR before changing to what I'm doing now. And this was a high level person within the organization. He was a director and he was getting close to retirement. And I loved talking to him. Just the wisdom and the stories that he had about his many years with the company were just fantastic. And he would get so excited telling me about his retirement plans. His heritage was Spanish from Spain, and he had this amazing trip planned where he was going to go to Spain and track down his ancestors and see where he came from, so to speak. Immediately after retiring, he was going to go to Aruba, and he had this fantastic vacation planned with his wife of many years in Aruba. He told me stories that because of his level of position, how for all these years, he very rarely got to take an extended vacation. And he was over an engineering department that had massive responsibilities, and a lot of people relied on him. So it made this retirement plan even more exciting. Well, retirement comes. 2 months later, I get a message, and it turns out he had passed away. What he didn't tell me was that he had been going through a cancer experience rather quietly in the years leading up to his retirement. As a cancer survivor myself, that particularly struck me. It made me think about all the things that I want to do and what would happen if I waited too long and did not get to do them. It is part of our motivation for our early retirement to get out and do things while we are healthy enough to do them. One of my greatest fears is to wait too late to retire, cross that bridge, and then have my health deteriorate in such a way that I can't do these amazing things. That was an important lesson I learned from this executive that I was helping. Our retirement plan includes hiking and biking and doing physical things that perhaps years from now we may no longer be able to do, or perhaps may not be able to enjoy as much while we are doing it. Now, why are you waiting? What is holding you back? These are the go years in some ways. You know, those first few years after you step away from full time work, where you can go out and do things that you will not be able to do when you're in your 70s and in your 80s. So, how are we planning for travel in our retirement? Well, one thing is I have it solidly baked into our budget. And my wife and I have talked about the budget extensively in the years leading up to this moment. That represents about 20%. Actually, I figured it up exactly. It was around 22% of our annual budget is travel. And relatively speaking, that's significant. The only other thing that is that high is our healthcare, which is just slightly less. I took it as a kind of a challenge to make sure that I spend more on travel than I do on my healthcare. So at the beginning of the year, we have a set bucket budget for our travel. So we have that bucket of money to spend. And the discussions that my wife and I have had together, which is very different as we transition from our scarcity mindset to our abundance mindset, is that our goal is to spend 100% of that bucket. And we're going to do it guilt free. And we're going to spend it and enjoy it. And that is why it's so important as you plan your travel in retirement, whether it's early retirement or regular retirement, is to have that set budget and have that open mindset to spending every penny of that budget. So do that. Have a set budget. Meet with your spouse, your partner, whoever you're going to be traveling with, or even if it's just you, set that with yourself and commit that you are going to spend it. The other thing that's really important is as you travel to assess how things went. We had our first travel of 2024 and we got back. My wife and I met for a little bit and we talked about that trip. We did it in a format which you may be familiar with if you know anything about quality. Is called start, stop, continue. So this is our very quick discussion. Start. What things did we not do on our trip or to prepare for this trip that we need to start doing in the future? For example, we felt like we didn't quite research restaurants and some of those things to do as much as we needed to do. What was one thing that we wanted to stop doing? It goes back to that scarcity mindset. We were at a very expensive for us hotel. It's my wife's birthday. It was totally worth it. And we went to the bar at the pool in order to drink, and that drink was $53 for just the two of us. Can you believe it? 52 bucks. And that totally blew my mind from my abundance mindset right back to my scarcity mindset for at least a couple of hours until finally we decided we are not going to do this. We have budgeted for this trip. What we were spending for it is exactly correct, and it was not going to be a problem. What was one thing we needed to continue to do that we want to do in the next trip? And that was that we enjoyed it, that we had our time together and we didn't worry about anything going on back home, and we just had fun, and that part was terrific. We got home, we built our spreadsheet, we saw how much we spent, and now we know how much we have left for the rest of the year as we continue our travel budgeting. Have a plan, set a budget, review what you did, then re-review your budget, see how much you have left, and keep planning. Go out and spend that money. So let me ask you, is travel part of your retirement plan? What you want to do? Is it a reason why you want to retire either early or just retire in general? I would love some ideas. What are your some big rock travel plans, things that you plan on doing that are just going to be fantastic? Inspire me. Uh, Give me some ideas of places to go and things to do. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, or if you got any value from it at all, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, leave a comment, all those things. They really help the channel a lot, and I appreciate you. Thanks for watching.